Patrick's father, Alfred Stewart, who died in 1980, was in the army for many years. He was posted overseas around the time of his first son Geoffrey's birth, and didn't marry Gladys until Geoffrey was 8. He was posted abroad again in 1940, just months before Patrick was born.
And here he is again in what would have been his Second World War uniform. I was 5 when I first got to know him, when he came back after the war ended.
While Alfred was away fighting in France, Patrick and his brother Trevor lived at home with their mother.
I do remember that I had a cot which was alongside her bed, and the sides of the cot could slide down, and I have a distinct memory of rolling from my cot into her bed and then rolling back again, and thinking that was good fun. And so I think that I was indulged and spoiled and petted and loved during those 5 years. All of that changed dramatically when this man appeared in the house. In many respects, not for the better either. At weekends, when he had been drinking, he could get very angry. I don't ever recall being hit by him. Even when at times I would intervene in rows between my mother and my father, I would put my body between them at what I thought were critical moments. And I don't remember him ever being, even pushing me hard or being violent with me. But he was to my mother. He hit her. He threw things at her. Sometimes we had to call an ambulance, or a doctor would come. Certainly on a couple of occasions, the police too would come. I think of my mother often and the loneliness she must have felt at times. But she adored my father. I mean, later on, my brother and I discussed with her, leaving him, but there was no question of it. I think she really loved him.
Patrick remembers his father as a violent husband, but he knows there was another side of Alfred's life which he wants to find out more about.
His war service found him a superstar, and I'm told he was very, very good at his job.
Patrick picked up scraps of information about Alfred's army life from the stories his father told him as a child.
They were adventure stories, and he was a very good raconteur. So I would have him repeat some of the stories over and over again because I enjoyed them so much.
Now Patrick wants to reconcile the conflicting sides of his father's character and to understand why army life had such a powerful impact on him.
Whatever I find out about his time in the army is going to be illuminating, because it was having left all that behind him that made him at times a pretty unhappy individual.
Emma Stafford was born 10 years before it became a legal requirement to register births. So the only way John can discover who Emma's real parents were is if she was baptized.
Word Auschwitz, it's just, it does something to you, I tell you.